Hey guys, it's Eric with the Miller Park Man, where we're throwing strikes and getting likes, hitting dingers, getting listeners. Back again. Hey Richard, how are we doing? This is your only Brewers Daily podcast. We are on 5:30 a.m. Central Standard Time every morning on all of your favorite platforms: Spotify, YouTube, Google, Rumble, iHeartRadio, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, everywhere you want to watch. So we are back doing Saturday Live. I got the stream up on my TV. Brewers are in the bottom of the fourth, 2-0 right now. I have dropped cable, so I am currently in the Bally Sports realm. I was just trying to get the Bally app working, and it, of course, was not. Butcher just said, free mullet day at the ballpark might be the coolest promotion any team has ever done. Props to the crew on that one. Oh, that's great. I love the Butcher. How you been, Richard? So yeah, we're just talking Brew Crew Live. I got the game up on the game day right now because I'm trying to get signed on to Bally Sports. Let's take a look at where we've gone so far. It's been a busy day. What Miley is Miley. Miley's always being Miley. Do you ever notice that? Like, only allowed 2 hits, 4 Ks, beautiful stuff. So let's talk about, while we're sitting here, let's talk about the state of the hitting. So every day and every chance we get on Facebook, we got people bitching. Richard, I'm sure you can echo in your Brewers group that you got people complaining that the Brewers need, maybe we need 4 hitting coaches, right? Well, if you take a look at what the Brew Crew is doing right now in comparison and side by side with the Pittsburgh Pirates, you got a leadoff hitter in McCutchen at a 260 batting average. Our leadoff hitter, of course, the one, the only, Christian Yelich, is hitting 267. Then you go to Brian Reynolds, 280. Jesse Winker is coming in number 2 today at 200. He's going to get his bat back. We got Joe coming in at 250. We got Adames coming in at 200. Brady Telez is coming in today at 229. Santana is 228. Hayes is 250. We got Urias, who really hasn't played, so you got to give him a little bit of wiggle, I feel like. That's my opinion. Ramel Tapia is 256 in his short time with the Brewers. Castro is 261. Bay 268 to Anderson's 227. Then you go down the line, 231 for Matthias, 271 for Caratini. Weimer coming in at 217 and Hedges at 178. Yeah, so they got a little bit higher batting averages by default. But at the same time, look at what we're doing. Look at where we are. I mean, that's pretty awesome. I am not going to be mad, not going to be upset about where we stand if you take a look at us compared to the Pittsburgh Pirates, who's our number 1 competition. Yeah, weird to say. The Pittsburgh Pirates are the Milwaukee Brewers' number 1 competition in the NL Central and right now. Crazy, I know. But it's funny to say it at the same time. I have so this week I've tried to do as many episodes as I possibly could. I pumped out a all-star ballot vote this week. We talked about the new partnership with FOCO. We're going to get our hands on a Garrett Mitchell welcome to the show bobblehead, which is kind of funny because he's not here right now. But at the same time, guys, it's still cool. So obviously, I'm sitting here right now, just kind of filling it out and enjoying the process of what's going on with that new sponsorship opportunity. I don't know. We'll see in the future if we do more partnered videos. I'd like to get my hands on the bobbles a little bit early, a little bit ahead of time, but I don't know that that'll happen. Last night's episode, for whatever reason, whenever I do an episode on a Friday night, even if it's a shorty, it seems to fall off. So if anybody's got any topics that they would like to chit chat about, please drop them in the chat below. I would gladly take suggestions today, but I think one of the biggest things that I wanted to bring up and just kind of reference was the reverse boycott this week. While we were kind of watching the game, I wanted to talk about the reverse boycott. So one of the things with this that a lot of people, there's two sides to this story. And yes, owners are evil. I'm not going to deny that the owners do bad things and dumb things. And I think what I wanted to say mostly about this, and because I've done a lot of listening and a lot of podcasts and stuff like that. I listen to Nothing Personal. If you haven't listened to Nothing Personal with David Sampson, he covers all sports, but he talks baseball because David Sampson was actually the former president of the Miami Marlins. So he's got a lot of insight into this relocation stuff and the building of a stadium, which is really kind of cool stuff. But the one thing I wanted to say about this, and I think the most important thing to focus on, is we don't know what has gone on behind the scenes. They have been working on this. I mean, this has gone on for a decade and a half, where Oakland has had a bad stadium. And it's not without trying that they've tried to get a new one in Oakland. Oakland has been working with them. They've been working on it, but they've never struck a deal. So it's not a matter of all greedy owners just wanting to move the team. No, they've been trying to get a new stadium for a really long time. But this reverse boycott things out, and it's like, oh, they're bad. No, they've been trying. You don't think that as an ownership in Oakland, they've been trying to work it out and get a stadium? Yes, they have. They have for a long time. So I saw another thing come out, Richard, I'll get to it in a second, but I saw another thing come out that Mark Antanasio is on the ownership committee that's doing this. Well, of course, the owners so how this works is basically the owners have to vote on relocation and they have to be a part of this. It's for Major League Baseball. It's important to Major League Baseball whenever they decide to go into a new market or change something about the game in general. Mark Antanasio heading up the relocation committee is not something to be afraid of for us. It's just a drama thing to fill a void. Everybody's always looking for a story. There's another story I'm going to get to in a few minutes here about Craig Counsell. But one of the things I will say about that is, yeah, Mark Antanasio is a newish owner, and he wants to be a part of things and part of the decisions. And that's a small market and a similar market to where we are. That and they're spending less money because they have lack of revenue. Without a good stadium and without the stadium being built in Oakland, they've been kind of scraping pennies. Now, I know I always am on the side of teams and spending money, but what I'm going to say here is you got to think they've been trying to repair this thing. They've been trying to get a new stadium. They've been trying to work deals. It's not an easy thing. Mark Antanasio has to repair our stadium. Facts. Just needs to get repaired. There's things that need to be done. Upkeep. That was part of the whole Rob Manfred visit. This does not mean we are going to lose the Milwaukee Brewers. The Milwaukee Brewers still have a lease. They're still going to be here. What they're doing is he's just got to participate. He's a businessman. He's got to participate. That's part of what these owners do. Got stuff on my shirt. And that's part of it. So at the end of the day, one of the big things for me is looking at like, okay, Mark Antanasio is a part of it. Great. He's trying to help He's trying to help make the business decisions for baseball to understand, which is great. We want him to be a part of these things and to understand what can happen if your stadium falls into this state of disrepair. Now, why are they doing this with the Milwaukee Brewers? Why is Rob Manfred coming to Milwaukee because they want to hedge their bet. They don't want this to happen to Milwaukee years down the road. They don't want 5 years to go by and Milwaukee Stadium gets to the point where if you look at the back panels, you drive by the back of Miller Park, you're going to see that the rust and just how disrepair it looks. Yeah, the roof in the front look pretty, but those are things that they got to figure out and they got to do, and they got to either put up or shut up and put some money in or get enough publicly funded money to do. So that's very important. The other part of this that I think goes without saying is Oakland doesn't want to move. That's a relocation that's changing. There's a lot of money invested into that, but they want the money to help. So similar to us, the public funding, the government funding helps the team. They need that money. If Oakland doesn't give the A's that money, then they're going to seek someone who's going to give them that money. Similar to the Brewers case. Now the Brewers got longer on their lease, that kind of thing. There's a lot more to that, but that's the business of it. That's where it comes down. And reverse boycott means nothing to me. Richard, sorry. I'm doing fine coming to Milwaukee on Wednesday singing the national anthem. Go check out Richard singing the national anthem Wednesday evening. Is that an evening game on Wednesday? I don't even know. That's how behind I am. Against the D-backs. D-backs are a pretty solid team right now. That should be good. That's a day game. Wednesday during the day, Richard. Fun stuff. It's a business decision. They need to think of what's best for the team to succeed. Exactly. Business is business. And at the end of the day, you have to make decisions that are going to benefit your team, your franchise, the best. And there's been a lot of stories spun about this in the media and different podcasters. Go listen to David Sampson's podcast from Friday. He actually said some really good things about it. And he kind of stands in the middle. He's on both sides because he doesn't want to piss people. He does piss people off, but he doesn't want to. That's not his game. But he knows a lot about it because he was a former GM, owner position, not GM or not owner. I think GM. But that's part of the business of baseball. And I think when fans get involved of the business end of baseball, it just gets muddled and confusing, and people are like, well, I don't get this, and they're being cheap. Yeah, in some cases they are being cheap, but at some point in time, there's money that's got to come in this way or another, whether it be a network deal or that's important. The other piece that I wanted to talk about in business decisions are what this comes down to. They need to do what's best for the team to succeed. So right now we're sitting in a spot where Craig Counsell does not have an extension. It's a lame duck. He's got a lame duck season. So rumor came out this week that Craig Counsell and David Stearns are going to head to New York next season. Once the season's over, I don't believe that. I think one. Sorry, there's massive wind chimes in my backyard. One of the things that I would say about this is that I think Craig Counsell is in a position right now where he's managed for a long time in Milwaukee. He has a son who's playing baseball, and he wants more opportunities to go see his son play baseball. His son is pretty decent at baseball. So it depends kind of, he took last Sunday off to, supposedly the rumor was, mull over his decision. No, he's attending his kids' games, graduations, that kind of thing. He's got older kids. He wants to be a part of their lives. Dad has been a baseball player for all of their young lives. Don't you want to be at a part where you are Christian Yelich just walk? Christian Yelich gets on base, man. That's facts. Don't you want to be in a position? Now, I know a lot of my audience might not have kids, but if you do have kids, you want to be in a position to where you can attend more of their events, spend more time with them. When they're young, you're going to spend as much time with them as possible. But at the same point in time, you got to go to work. I have to go to work. I have a job to do. Everybody has a job to do. At the end of the day. when your kids' events start getting bigger and more important, you want to be a part of those. So, like if Jack Council, for instance, is going to be playing in the College World Series, Craig is going to want to go to those things. He may not even want to be a full-time manager at the end of the day. There's a decision that his kid's going to make to what school he goes to and where he goes. And, maybe that influences Craig's decision where he could be in an off day to go see where his kids playing ball. I mean, I don't know all those factors. Nobody knows all those factors. And I just think that's important to consider when you're talking about Craig Counsell and the long haul of his tenure in the Milwaukee Brewers. I mean, if he decides that he wants to go follow his kid, I ain't going to fault the guy. I ain't going to be mad. Like, he's just being a dad at the end of the day. It's a business. So as Richard so aptly put it, it's a business decision. They need to think of what's best for the team to succeed. So if Counsell wants to be off watching his kid, I don't blame him. It's a business decision. He needs to do what he needs to do to succeed, to be happy in life. Because, Winker struck out. Winker's struggling. I would love for Winker to catch fire, guys. I mean, I really would. Winker, Adames, and Urias are the three guys that I think need to catch fire. We did DFA John Singleton today. John Singleton has not done well. We had a good start from Julio Tehran last night. I picked him up for the fantasy matchup. He scored like 21 points. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm undefeated in fantasy baseball. Richard, let's talk about that. I'm undefeated. How you doing? But it's funny because, Richard, you have this thing where you go for the same guys I do. Like, I will look up a player that I know is on a hot streak. My example from the last week was Gary Sanchez. I looked up Gary Sanchez the other day, and you picked him up when he's on a burner. So props for that. What was I talking about? Oh, Tehran. Tehran was a miracle pickup for the Crew, and I'm glad it happened. I'm glad we got it. I think we're going to see these guys come more into form. I'm hoping we're going to beat these Pirates for these next few days and take over. 7-3. 7-3 is not a bad record. That's not bad. I say that coming from first place, 10-0. But I mean, you know what though? It's funny because fantasy baseball is so hard. You either have a good start to the season and take off, or you pick up some better guys and then you watch them increase that way. That's how fantasy baseball rolls. Devin got the save last night, guys. Devin is Devin. He's going to be Devin. You're going to have good and bad with everybody, and I think sometimes you just take the bad with these guys. I have been watching closers fail in and out, left and right, and it's kind of interesting to me to see. We've had so many closers over the years, the Dan Kolbs, the Turnbows. Turnblow is what he became at one point or another. Axford had his day. I mean, if you've been a long-time Brewers fan, closers are the most scary position on the team because they can either come in and be lights out, like Devin Williams has been most of the season, or they can be shaky. And Devin Williams was shaky last night, but then he got it done. So let's just hope his confidence doesn't get rocked. In my All-Star video, which is over on brewerfanatic.com, if you go over to Brewer Fanatic, check out their community. I talk about Contreras. I talk about Devin Williams' case for an All-Star. And then I give my other picks. I may post that video to the actual YouTube channel in the next week here as we're getting closer to the All-Star break. I think one of the things when you talk about guys becoming all-stars, somebody's banging down on there's like a neighborhood, like kids everywhere. Someone's banging downstairs. It's really loud. So I apologize if you hear that. But I think when you talk about these all-star guys, is their case has changed a little bit over time. Devin Williams had a bad outing, got a little roughed up last night, but I don't think that changes his case. He's an all-star, no doubt. We don't vote for that. So, I mean, it's up to the manager, but I think he's an all-star. Even with his lack of outings, he's had a lack of outings for sure. William Contreras, I think he gets in as like a secondary or backup guy. Just that his skill level has increased. His batting is a little bit down, but I'm hoping he gets a backup nod. There's a lot of good catchers in the National League. So the other night, I actually did a video, and I'll tell you which video it is. What's happening with the Brewers pitching or hitting? I did that the other night, and I think I did a lot of research for that because it was an off day. I think that's one to watch if you want to hear about where hitting has been and where hitting is going. Because I talk about the historical factors, the average length of game and time of hitting. That is one of my best videos probably of the week. So I will go back and watch that if you haven't. Otherwise, listen to the audio over on Apple, Spotify, Google, wherever you get your podcasts. If you want to reach out to me, guys, feel free to reach out. Miller Minute on Twitter. I was going to say the handle's down there, but it's not. Miller Minute on Twitter. You can go over to the Facebook page, Miller Park Minute, and the Milwaukee Brewers. Join that group. Talk to me there. If you want to support the channel, Miller Park Minute on Patreon, you can actually click right below this video on YouTube, and there's a join, and you can choose your level that you want to join at. So if you want to do that, great. And I think Spotify might have a link too. This isn't on Spotify Live, but it's up to you. And then SeatGeek code, Miller Park Minute at SeatGeek, saves $20 on your first order. It's got to be your first order, though. That Joey Weimer home run was sweet. I'm just watching the replay of it. I don't have the Bally app up. I got to get that running. So, yeah, I think that's about all I got today. Go vote for the All-Stars. At least get Contreras in there. Get enough votes on him. I don't think we have a chance to get another Brewer in, but who knows? I will be doing another video tomorrow afternoon. If you want to listen live, join live, I will put the link in the Twitter account, Miller Minute on Twitter. As far as everything else, I think that's all we got for now. We got a couple players back today. We're getting healthy. We're currently leading. Did I look at the score correctly? Yes, we are leading. So bottom 5, 4. Oop, did I miss something? Oh, I missed something. You gonna make it Wednesday? I don't know yet, Richard. I gotta try. Oh, Rowdy doubled and I missed it. See, that's what happens when you don't have a screen up. I will do my best. I make no guarantees, but I'll try to come out and support and see. It's been busy, man. Summer's been crazy so far, so got a lot going on. But yeah, that's it for now, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. I am going to go try and get my Bally thing updated and figured out so I can watch the rest of this game. So watching the game day on my screen here. So thanks for watching, guys. Catch you in the next episode, 5:30 a.m. tomorrow. This re-airs, so check out the re-air if you would like to. Have a great rest of your day, and go Brew Crew.